Ooh, Bad Larry.
Welcome back, Bad Larry Kingdom. I'm your host, Bad Larry, and today we're checking out issue number 25 of X Factor, The Fall of the Mutants, part 2 of 3. This issue is written by Louise Simonson and drawn by her husband, Walter Simonson, and I tell you what, folks, you guys are in for a doozy with this episode. 40 pages in this issue number 25. And a quick comment about the cover, which I do love, depicting Apocalypse standing over our X Factor team, grabbing Marvel Girl by the hair. Everybody's knocked out. His horsemen are looking like they're destroying the city. And weren't comic books the first clickbait? Don't you think? You know, imagine this is the 1980s and you're walking into your comic shop and you see this cover and you're like, holy cow. Are the X Factor team in for it? What is this guy? What has he done? So you know, and then you pick it up and the guy's like, hey, you pick it up, you buy it. You know, so now you're forced to spend the $1.25 to buy the comic book and see what exactly happens based off of the cover. So I do love this cover. I think it's great. I think it really does depict what's going to happen. But I just thought it's kind of interesting. Comic books were kind of the original clickbait. Here we see Apocalypse has our X Factor team fully captured and restrained. Caliban is by Apocalypse's side just waiting for that power up. And they're all hidden in Apocalypse's invisible ship. And they're watching Apocalypse's horsemen descend upon Manhattan with the aims of just destruction. What a great splash page. We see the 4 horsemen of Apocalypse descending upon the city skylines of Manhattan, led by Death, aka Archangel. Pestilence is literally leaving a trail of human bodies behind her, while Famine is attacking the humans, making them all look like Celine Dion. You may restrain Cyclops physically, but not that mouth. He calls Apocalypse a pervert for what he's done to those mutants that he's turned into his horsemen, especially the way that he's perverted Angel into this now monster called Death or Archangel. But Apocalypse has super thick skin and just shrugs Cyclops off and says, I'm not the villain here. It's that Cameron Hodge who's the villain. He's the one that duped you guys into being mutant hunters out here and is responsible for the death and destruction of your friend Angel. Apocalypse continues and says, it was Cameron Hodge that orchestrated the amputation of Warren Worthington's wings. It was Cameron Hodge that orchestrated his plane blowing up. And Apocalypse just found Warren and saved him and transformed him. He saved his life. You should be thanking me. You should be thanking Apocalypse. And then we see the Gipper here signing some legislation that's creating the Mutant Registration Act that any mutant has to register with the government with their powers, even if they're not very powerful, even if they don't really have any offensive powers at all, they have to register with the government. And Apocalypse is kind of right here. He says that once all the mutants are registered, you think the humans are just going to sit there and be like, oh, let's all live in peace now. Now that we know where you all live and who you all are, you think that the humans are just going to let y'all live in peace and coexist? Nah, once they know who's a mutant and who's not, they're going to round y'all up and put y'all in camps. And Beast is like, no, they won't. And I was like, probably they will. And what we see down here at the bottom is a real act of heroism by the Beast. Every time he uses some super strength, his brain keeps going dum-dum. So by him using all this strength to basically scrunch up and make a hole in the restraints, he's actually ruining some of his intellect in the process. And Beast goes, Kobe, and flicks that piece of metal, knocking off the power inhibitor on Iceman's belt, basically freeing Iceman to go full power, which then breaks himself and the other X Factor heroes right out of that restraints that Apocalypse held. And what I love about Apocalypse, he's not even mad. He's like, good job. He's just laughing the whole way. He's like, oh, great. You're proving that you're strong. You know, you can't get Apocalypse mad. You know, if you read this book, it really shows you how you should deal with your enemies. You just laugh at everything that they do. Apocalypse is a real G over here, people. He knows he's about to get attacked by X Factor now that they're free from their restraints, but has the wherewithal to pick up Caliban and say, hey, you're not ready for all the power. Thanks for your support, but I'm just going to set you over here for later, okay? Just hold tight, Caliban, while Apocalypse has to deal with these little children mutants. And bang! What I love is it shows how versatile Apocalypse is in altering his physiology. Is he better than Mr. Fantastic at changing his physiology? He tricks Cyclops into unloading a huge blast that takes out the Transformers. This was all part of Apocalypse's plan. And now Apocalypse is straight up just laughing at the X Factor team, saying, you idiots, I knew you were going to blow that Transformer, and now the ship is just sucking all the energy and light from the city, just like I planned. And Iceman's down here, he's kind of in the doldrums saying, no matter what we do, we just keep making things worse. And Marvel Girl's like, hush up, Iceman, chill out. You get it? Well, Apocalypse has done something to his ship that limits Marvel Girl's telekinesis powers. So basically, he opens up the door and craps Jean Grey, Marvel Girl, and Cyclops off the ship, while Beast uses his super strength and agility and monkey powers to hold on and keep Iceman on the ship. So now Marvel Girl and Cyclops are floating around the city, and now the ship is invisible to them because the ship is invisible to people who are not on the ship. They're separated from their team members, Beast and Iceman, and they start hearing battles going on down in the streets below. Marvel Girl and Cyclops find the trail of human bodies leading down to the sewers and to the subway tunnels, where they catch up to Pestilence. But because Pestilence is on that little horse, mechanical horse, they are unable to keep up with her. And similar to Apocalypse's ship, there's some sort of telekinetic barrier that doesn't allow Marvel Girl to hold on to Pestilence or to the horse that she's riding on. So Pestilence is getting away. They hear a scream coming from somewhere. Cyclops makes a whole kabloom with his optic blast, and they emerge out from the tunnels in Central Park. And this page is kind of epic because they know where the battle is about to take place, but before they start whipping ass, Cyclops slaps a fresh kiss on the Marvel Girl. And this is a big deal because he's been struggling with his emotions towards Jean Grey, and him being married to Madeline Pryor and having his son, and both of those two being missing. So this kiss is kind of a big deal. Marvel Girl's like, welcome back. And Cyclops is like, let's whip it on. And what we see is now famine is starting to attack the humans with a fat attack, basically, making everybody both skinny and hungry and starving at the same time. And you forget that Famine, the horseman, is a child. This horseman of the apocalypse is merely a teenager. And Marvel Girl attacks Famine and is like, hey, think about what you're doing. Marvel Girl and Famine are battling both physically and with their words. Famine is saying that her parents, nobody accepted her. Only Apocalypse loves her, and he's going to let her melt the flesh off all the bones of all of Americans. And Jean Grey is like, I'm starving, but I'm going to hurl this truck at you, or this food cart, and knocks Famine off her horse. Famine calls out to Apocalypse like, "Daddy, come save me!" And Apocalypse teleports Famine away, leaving Marvel Girl on the ground starving, but apparently victorious over this little skirmish with Famine. And now we're off to see what Cyclops is up to. He catches up to the horseman called War, and before Apocalypse changed this mutant into War, he himself was a war veteran and is suffering some serious PTSD. War starts running around, destroying all of the war memorials and statues, looking to cause mass civilian casualties. Cyclops launches his optic blast attack against War, but the optic blast just bounces off of War's armor, destroying another statue. How will Cyclops defeat this enemy when his most powerful offensive attack, his optic blast, seemed to have no effect against War because of his special armor? Well, look at Cyclops doing all kinds of flips and shit. All that time in the danger room is paying off, my friend. But Cyclops is too smart. He says he's going to direct his attack against the little horsey thing that War is riding on. And just like he thought, kablooey! He blows that little horse machine to smithereens. And Apocalypse, of course, is watching this battle unfurl and teleports War back to the ship. Or back to safety. He's teleported him somewhere. And now we're back on Apocalypse's ship. Iceman tells Beast, "Hey, you did your job. Don't do anything else that causes you to exert any strength, or else you're going to go full retard over here. Let me handle Apocalypse. And I'm going to start throwing some snowballs at him. Snowball fight with Apocalypse." Apocalypse is like, "You silly snowman. I got a shield to block this, you idiot. I'm impervious to little snowballs, but someone else isn't." And the snowballs ricochet, take Beast out. Apocalypse is still laughing at these idiots, saying, "Oh, your politicians are making y'all register and get on a list. You think that that's going to do anything that's going to give them some control over us? I don't think so. Teleport. Attack from behind. Kablooey." Iceman is down. I love the writing here. Beast is technically the smartest one of all of the X-Factor mutants, but he keeps making the dumbest mistakes. He's, "Oh, Iceman is hurt. You hurt, Iceman. I'm going to pick up this big old hunk of metal and throw it at you." And Iceman's waking up like, "No, you dummy, you're not going to hit him. He's got a teleportation power. Everything you're doing is making you dumber." And Apocalypse is laughing at him. He's like, "I would love for you to join me, but Beast, but you seem to be doing a better job as my enemy, causing destruction, than you would as a ally of mine. So, you just keep doing you. You seem like you're super good at destroying stuff." Beast is really done it this time. He pulled an Urkel. He literally says, "Did I do that?" Now the ship is visible to all of the humans, and they can see that it is crashing down upon their city. And do you think Apocalypse cares? He does not care one bit. He's like, "I'll just make another ship. Let it crash and destroy everything. It's great." Apocalypse is like the Joker of this Marvel universe. He doesn't care who causes the destruction. He's just like an agent of chaos, and he's just laughing the whole way through. Kabloom! Apocalypse's ship takes out one building. How will they stop this ship from destroying all of Manhattan? The ship is literally falling to Earth, and Apocalypse can't be more happy. He is literally laughing his ass off. Iceman can't do anything to stop the ship. Apocalypse is just making fun of Beast, saying that it was because of him that destroyed everything and the reason why the ship has fallen to Earth. And he just thinks it's so funny, and which only makes Beast angry. He's like, "I'm gonna attack you." Apocalypse says, "Too slow, bitch. Nice try." Again, laughing at his face. Marvel Girl and Cyclops are seeing the ship starting to fall and destroy the city, and they have to make a plan quick. They have to decide, who are they going to save, the people or try to get to that ship. Cyclops says, "Hey, this is a big city with a lot of heroes. some of these other heroes are seeing what's going on. They're going to have to come and do their part. Okay, where are the Fantastic Four and the Avengers? They're going to have to come help us out. In the meantime, oh, look, there's Archangel. We're going to have to go after him. Apocalypse's horseman, Death, launches an attack against Marvel Girl and Cyclops. But Cyclops tells Marvel Girl, there's no time to be ticking around with Archangel over here. We've got to address this ship. Okay, that's first and foremost. Our heroes and the people of the city are about to see Apocalypse's ship destroy the Empire State Building. No! Apocalypse's ship takes out the tower of the Empire State Building, but Marvel Girl uses all her telekinetic power to stabilize the ship. But the momentum and the sheer thousands of tons of weight of the ship is starting to overpower Marvel Girl. She can't hold it for long. The Power Pack kids have joined the chat. This team of adolescents made up of Alex Power, Katie Power, Julie Power, and Jack Power are there to help assist Marvel Girl and Cyclops. Alex Powers has the power to manipulate gravity, so he's using that power in conjunction with Marvel Girl to keep Apocalypse's ship from crashing down to Earth. And at this time in the run, Julie Powers had the power to make herself super duper dense. So she launches an attack against Pestilence, and because of her super density as Molecula, she's able to knock Pestilence right off that horse, preventing Pestilence from attacking both the Power Pack team as well as Marvel Girl and Cyclops. And here we see Archangel, aka Death, zipping towards our heroes. You think he's going to attack them? No, he somehow slices the antenna. Is he turning good? Is he turning good back to the good side? We'll find out. And then we see Katie Powers here grabbing Pestilence, saving Pestilence. Apparently, Katie Powers is immune to Pestilence's attacks. And then we see the hunk of tower crashing to the ground. Back aboard Apocalypse's ship, Beast continues to try to attack Apocalypse to no avail. Apocalypse keeps laughing at Beast's face, calling him a bird brain. Iceman thinks that he can freeze Apocalypse and take control of him. That's not going to work. Apocalypse laughs at Iceman and is like, oh, you ready to move to difficult level 2? This is all just a giant game to Apocalypse. Archangel, aka Death, looks like he's going to make an attack against Cyclops, Marvel Girl, and Alex Powers, and bang! Apocalypse teleports him out of there. And you thought Katie Powers had saved Pestilence? Wrong! Pestilence is now dead! Lying on the ground dead! Cyclops tells Marvel Girl, hey, let's get on this horsey thing and see if we can ride it back to Apocalypse's ship. And you, Power Pack kids, you go and save the city. And Marvel Girl says to Cyclops, but they're just the little children. And Cyclops is like, so were we when we were fighting Magneto. So they can handle it. Now get on this mechanical horsey thing and let's ride. Back aboard Apocalypse's ship, we see that Apocalypse has teleported War and Death back to fight Beast and Iceman. Iceman launches a huge-ass ice attack against War, short-circuiting his armor. And Death looks upon Iceman and is like, you ain't no match for me, Ice Boy, give it up. Marvel Girl and Cyclops rejoin X Factor just in the nick of time. While Death launches his blade attack against Iceman, Marvel Girl uses her telekinesis to deflect those blades away from the team. But right into the direction of Beast. Beast says, yeah! And barely misses Beast. Cyclops launches a Noctic Blast against Death. And they're all talking about, we got to try to save Warren. Maybe he's still in there. Iceman says, I've got a plan. Give me some cover, Marvel Girl. Iceman has a plan, but realizes that if his plan doesn't work, they may have to kill Warren. For real this time. War is nearly down for the count. His armor is all crappy. He thinks he can do one more clap attack against Marvel Girl, but Marvel Girl picks his ass up and tosses him into Death. Death easily dodges War, and War flies against the wall. He's out for the count. And now Death is flying around trying to recruit Iceman and Jean and Cyclops to join Apocalypse. Oh, this story never gets old, does it? Look! X Factor are not gonna join Apocalypse. Stop trying to recruit them. Iceman launches a little attack against Death, and Death charges towards Iceman, slicing him in half. This is Death's first kill, and it's against one of his best friends, Bobby Drake, his teammate from childhood. Apocalypse is like, well done. Your first kill. I'm so proud of you. Cyclops and Marvel Girl are like, no, what have you done, Warren? You killed Bobby. And then, bang! Warren snaps out of Apocalypse's mind control. He's a Bobby, what have I done? And starts yelling at Apocalypse, what did you make me do? You've turned me into a monster. You made me kill my friend. Apocalypse is real happy with Death. He's like, great, you passed the test. And Death is like, pass the test, you turned me into a monster. I'm going to attack you now. And you know what? Apocalypse is not even mad. He just makes a little shield. He's like, oh, great, you're really strong. I'm super proud of you. My boy is real strong. And X Factor realizes that the shock of killing Bobby has brought Warren's mind back to reality. And they realize that Warren is back on X Factor's team, and they say, let's go, attack Apocalypse. Iceman slides up on his ice slide, said, hey, mind if I join the fight? And Archangel's like, Bobby, I killed you. And he's like, no, not really. You sliced through a little ice dummy, but got you back on the team. And Apocalypse is like, see how they deceive you? X Factor's just a bunch of liars. And Archangel's like, no worse than you are. They're at least trying to save me. And Apocalypse's like, I saved you. What are you talking about? I made you strong. Not as strong as me, though. Whack! Knocks his ass out. War comes to after being thrown against the wall by Marvel Girl and realizes that Archangel has flipped against Apocalypse, and War launches a clap attack against Archangel, but Beast is there to save the day. Iceman tells War to chill out with all that mess, and Apocalypse is going on and on again on his diatribe about joining him in his fight against the humans. Cyclops launches an optic blast attack against Apocalypse, blowing a hole in the side of the ship. Apocalypse goes ahead and grabs Caliban and War and just flies the heck out of there. Say, hey, catch you later, fools. Apocalypse's ship is hurling towards the Statue of Liberty, surely to take it out. Iceman thinks if he can load up one side of the ship with ice, it'll mix up the weight and cause it to miss the Statue of Liberty. Then boom, an explosion out of nowhere. Something must have rocked the ship, causing it to barely miss the Statue of Liberty. Who could have that been? Well, it was clearly one of the Power Pack kids. I don't know which one of it. One of those kids came and knocked the ship off course, but let's just say it was one of the Power Pack kids. These kids were in the episode earlier. They're clearly still involved in the fight. So let's just say between Iceman and the Power Pack kids caused the ship to barely miss Statue of Liberty. And as the other end of the ship falls, it takes out X Factor headquarters. Oops. X Factor is super happy, even though their headquarters are totally destroyed. They're super happy they saved the city. And they're like, oh, great, Warren, you're back on the team. But Warren has got some serious PTSD from his betrayal by Cameron Hodge to being twisted up by Apocalypse. He's definitely not the same Warren Worthington III that we knew before. He's definitely something or someone different. The news and the reporters are on top of the ship, banging on the hatch. asking for the people to come out. Iceman makes a comment saying these humans are dumb or they're really brave. They don't know who's on this ship. Could be some aliens and monsters. This ship was trying to destroy the city. Cyclops tells his X Factor team, well, we can't sit in here forever. Let's go topside, guys, and face these reporters. Warren, you with us? And Angel says, nah, I can't join y'all. I'm all messed up in the head. I'm not going to go out there and face those people. Now remember, up until this point, the media and the people all thought X Factor mutants were villains. But Scott Summers, Cyclops, goes up and sets the record straight. The media tells everyone, oh, get the rope, string them up. Cyclops says, stop. Enough of all of that. We're the good guys. We beat the villains here, okay? So enough of all of this. We're going to string you up. We're on your side, all right? Cyclops sets the record straight, saying, yeah, there's dangerous mutants out there, but there's dangerous humans too. Apocalypse is a villain, but so are some humans villains. But what we need to do is work together, okay? There's more good mutants and good humans out there than there are the bad ones. So we need to work together to fight against the evil mutants and the evil humans that want to keep us separated and divided, which I think is actually really appropriate for times now, you know, whether you're Democrat, Republican, it's the media, it's the powerful people that want to divide us and isolate us from each other and say there's only one way of doing things, my way or the highway. And that's not really the way that democracy works, our republic works. There's too many people out there with differentiating opinions. We have to all learn how to work together and tolerate each other peacefully. And I think that that's really what's appropriate about this comic back then as it is now. You know, you have to find what's more in common with each other than what's different from each other. And that you have to realize that there's more good on each side than bad on each side. And to work together to defeat the villainy and the evil that's wanting to cause violence and destruction and division. So what a great episode. What a great issue. Let me know what your thoughts are below. Give this issue a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and be looking for the conclusion of the Fall of the Mutants in issue number 26, part 3, coming to you soon. Bye-bye.